Am I still a Rotor Riot cast member? Yes. Except I haven't appeared in an episode in a long time. Because every time they say, will you, hey, basically the way it works is that there's a Rotor Riot group, a Facebook group, and they'll say, hey, we're filming on these dates. Who wants to come? And if I was like, me, I want to come, they would be like, cool. They'd arrange my flights. They'd fly me out there. We'd appear in episodes. It'd all be wonderful. I haven't done that in a while. I have had other opportunities that I've been working on. You know, every so often I go away for 2 weeks or maybe sometimes longer, and I do a private consulting agreement is how I like to put it. Someone says, Bardwell, I need you. The bat signal goes up into the sky, except it's the Bardwell signal. And then I send them an invoice and they pay the invoice, and then I disappear for 2 weeks and do things. And that has actually ramped up in the last year to the point where every time Rotor Riot is like, hey, we're going to do another episode. Who wants to come? Either I've got a conflict, and as much as I enjoy filming with Rotor Riot, and I really do, I never did Rotor Riot episodes for the money. I always did it just because I like hanging out with them and filming and flying and doing cool shit. It was basically like a paid vacation, except it wasn't that much of a paid vacation because, like, ultimately they pay for your time, but the amount that other people are willing to pay is significantly higher. Not to say that they're not paying. Just saying. There have been other opportunities that I've been taking, and I haven't appeared in an episode in a while. I am a cast member, but I haven't appeared in an episode in a long time. That I still consider those guys friends, and still, if the schedules worked out or if the opportunity was right, would go film with them. I probably will at some point in the future. I still do live streams for Quad Crew, which is their little membership program. Once a month, I do a live stream for Quad Crew and stay in the loop. But I am a cast member, but haven't appeared in episodes in a while. How about that? Take a vacation. Well, take a vacation. I'm not a vacation kind of person. I don't know. Like, every so often I take an actual vacation, but very rarely. Like, I don't know if I just have this mindset where, like, I'm constantly worried that at any moment, like, there was a long time where I made 5 to 7 videos a week for my YouTube channel. I've since slowed down a little bit because no one can keep up that pace and make quality content. And part of the reason I made that many videos is because I just was worried that if I slowed down, things would drop off and I would sort of lose my career. So there's this sort of underlying sort of sense of anxiety. So, like, could I say, oh, I'm not going to take this work and instead I'm going to go film with Rotor Riot as a vacation? Yeah. But then, like, there's a customer going, hey, we'll pay your day rate and we'll hire you for 2 weeks. And actually, we'll pay you more than your day rate. And you're like, well, that's not going to last forever. Maybe I should just take this opportunity. I don't know. I actually, Blunty, I'm just sort of rambling now, but I actually have a lot of respect for your attitude. And I'm not trying to, like, put you on the spotlight, but I've seen lots of opportunities where you have gone, well, I've gone like, hey, you could make some money if you did X, and you've gone, I don't want to. And then, like, I'll get a Steam notification, It's Blunty is playing X. And it seems like you really got it figured out, dude. in terms of just deciding to do what you want with your life and not just sort of chasing the frickin' bag. I don't know.
Yeah, I chased the bag for 10 years and got enough of the bag to realize I don't care about the bag. Is what I would say. Like I just can't. I can't care enough to work my life away doing anything. You know, like
Yeah.
I know that everybody's not as privileged as I am, but I found a way to do it so that I do not have to work for a living. And
I mean, you're working right now.
you know,
We're both
right?
working
But I
right
mean,
now.
I
You
don't
don't
like have
feel
to spend
like
a 40 somewhere. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
and before that, you know, I was on call for 8 years, 24/7, 365
Mm-hmm.
straight. You know, like
Do you
running
want
a multi-million-dollar
Yeah, okay.
business.
Yeah.
So,
People
like
don't realize, well, a lot of people
yeah,
who watch the stream do realize, but people don't realize you
yeah,
were, in the traditional sort of capitalist sense, you were wildly successful.
yes. It
Yeah.
worked out very well, especially
Uh-huh.
not going to college and just
Mm-hmm.
just working by my, you know, pull yourself up by the bootstraps is literally exactly what I did. And I don't know. I just very quickly realized like, oh, I get bored of everything. It's not just that like I get bored of some things and I need to find the thing I don't get bored of. It's like, oh, I don't like working. Which okay,
Yeah.
great. Everybody finds that out. But like I just made opportunities to make it so that I didn't have to do the 40. And then bailed the heck out of it. So,
It's interesting to me. It's almost confusing because, like, if you were a guy who sat around in his basement all day and smoked weed and played video games, I'd be like, okay. I mean, if that's what you want to do with your life, fine. Whatever. But that's different in my mind to a guy who made it to the height that you made it, running a multi-million-dollar business. And presumably you were making good money at that, right? I don't know. I don't want to pry. And then you went, nah, I'm good. And you walked away from it. Because, like, you had the option and you chose not to have it, as opposed to somebody who never had the option. And so it wasn't an active choice. And that's really interesting to me. I don't know.
yeah. I had never really, I don't know. It's just what you do, right? You just work up and you make more money and you make more money and you try to figure it out, right? And like obviously, and that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I got to a point where I was gonna say like, oh, I need to ask for more money. And then I thought in my head, well, how much money do I need to ask for?
Right.
And then I was like, oh, there's not a number. I just don't
Right.
want to do this anymore.
Right.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
so then it was like, oh, well, let's figure out how not to do this because I don't actually care about money. And if you're like one of those people who needs a nice car or has wants a family, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, there's things that I want or don't want, right? Like, I don't want to have a kid. I don't have a kid that I already have to pay for. Like, I don't have a girlfriend that I'm paying for right now. Like, and it's not something I'm getting into soon. You know what I mean? Like, like there are things you have and priorities, and based around my priorities and the way I like to live, it's very easy for me to move to Alabama, make basically way less money, and not have a huge problem. So.
Yeah, yeah. My wife has we were talking to a friend of ours, and they were like, oh, there's this thing that somebody wants me to do, but I don't really want to do it. It was a job related thing. I don't really want to do it, but like if they were to offer me the right amount of money, I guess I'd do it. But I don't know how. Like I don't know what that number is. And my wife says, okay, here's the thing. Would you do it for $1? No. Would you do it for $100? No. Would you do it for $1,000? No. Would you do it for $5,000? Yeah, maybe. She's like, okay, $10,000 is your number. She said, find the first number where you go, I might do it, and double it. And then that's your number. I was like, ooh, that's pretty good. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're driven by money. But me, I tell you, me, like on my days off, like I always want to be doing something, right? Like I'm gonna wake up on my day off and then I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna like start freaking doing something in the yard. I'm going to start a project. I always want to feel like I'm doing something. And I don't know if that's just like how I'm wired or if it's like some kind of like I need to learn how to relax, but I can't. But like, so as long as I'm going to be doing something, if I have the opportunity to do something that someone's going to pay me for, then I'll take it. And if it's interesting and I kind of anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I help people troubleshoot drones all day. You do too. You know what I mean? Like I don't care about working. I just care about working on my schedule, doing the things I want to do, progressing the things I want to do, and being able to stop when I want. Right? Like if I don't feel like coming in today, I just answer you tomorrow. Right? It's not a big deal. Yeah. And I'm not ruining half a business's workflow, and I'm not like, there's so many pieces to missing a day of work at a job you actually matter for.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.